Browns is the Browns. This is the most hype they've ever had. Like, it's the Browns.
Exactly.
So, he got drafted to the wrong team. That Sanders name, I'm telling you right now, there's only one person that understands business, and he will trade his quarterback for Sanders. Dallas is where Sanders is gonna be.
Wow.
Because that name on the back of that jersey is legacy, and he's gonna want that to ring bells around.
The Browns have always been a franchise where chaos feels less like an accident and more like a tradition. But this time, it isn't just about blown play calls or fourth quarter collapses. It's about a name, a legacy, Shadur Sanders. And right now, rumors are swirling that Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys are circling like sharks.
Believes in Joe Flacco's experience and Dylan Gabriel's ability to back him up. Andrew Berry still thinks there's a place for Shadur on this roster, but his chances of seeing regular season action in 2025 are unlikely. You can see on the left there in the picture, and I'll read you the full quote, unless things get really weird. So this is what the actual snippet from the article said. Then I got a question for you. Diana Rossini wrote, for all the football conspiracy theorists out there, they're trying to decode the real reason the Browns drafted Shadur Sanders. Here's the truth. There is no big secret. The pick wasn't some master plan from ownership. It was GM Andrew Berry's call, rooted in his belief that Cleveland's coaching staff could bring out the best in Sanders and help him grow into an NFL quarterback.
Ready to swoop in and steal the Browns' shiny but neglected quarterback project. Andrew Berry, the Browns' general manager, is allegedly losing his mind. Picture a man in a suit tearing through scouting reports like confetti, muttering about wasted draft picks, while the Cowboys grin in the background, already envisioning Sanders under the bright lights of AT&T Stadium. This isn't just football anymore.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary.
This is drama. This is theater. And somehow Cleveland, as always, is in the middle of the storm. When the Browns drafted Shadur Sanders, the hype was enormous. His last name carried weight that goes beyond just stats. It's a brand, a legacy built by his father, Deion Sanders, one of the most electric players in NFL history. Andrew Berry believed his staff could mold Shadur into a future star. That was the pitch. Patience, development, careful growth. But what happened? Reality hit like a linebacker.
Dallas seems to be a place that can check all the boxes for Shadur realistically, instead of Cleveland. So we're going to see. So I think the Dallas Cowboys could be his.
Sanders has been buried on the depth chart, tossed into meaningless garbage time minutes, surrounded by players already planning their off-season vacations. He hasn't been given a real shot to shine, only token snaps that feel more like PR stunts than football. Imagine buying a Ferrari and only driving it to the corner store. Imagine owning a rare Pokemon card and locking it away in a shoebox while collectors line up with blank checks. That's how Cleveland has handled Shadur. The fans aren't blind. They see it. They call it witness protection football because Sanders has been hidden, sheltered, and wasted instead of unleashed. And now the inevitable consequence has arrived. The rumor mill has Dallas written all over it. Jerry Jones is a businessman before he's a football man. He knows how to sell a storyline. And what better storyline than a Sanders leading America's team? The whispers began quietly.
Dallas Cowboys are trading Dak Prescott to draft Shadur Sanders. Hey, hear me out. I know y'all been hearing these rumors about Dak Prescott going to the Browns. If it's out like this, it ain't fake. This is what I think is happening. Remember when Jerry Jones made that call to Deion Sanders? It wasn't about the head coaching job. It was about his son. And I think that Jerry Jones is trading Dak Prescott for draft picks and a player so they can move up in the draft and draft Shadur Sanders. Remember, Shadur is a big...
But they spread fast. Dak Prescott could be on the way out. Dallas could be looking for a new face of the franchise, and Shadur Sanders might be that guy. It's a Hollywood script disguised as a rumor, and in Dallas, that's enough to make headlines for weeks. Cowboys fans are buzzing. Browns fans are panicking. and Andrew Berry. He's reportedly seething because the moment this rumor surfaced, Cleveland's entire handling of Shadur was exposed. This isn't just about losing a player. This is about losing face. Cleveland has a long, painful history with quarterbacks, a carousel that's turned promising prospects into punchlines. And now, the Browns might be on the verge of repeating the cycle again. Only this time, the stage is national. The rumor is Dallas. The fallout would be catastrophic.
Not gotten really weird.
Yeah, I mean, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Does that mean Flacco and get we already know he's the third quarterback. So what? Nothing weird has to happen. The first two quarterbacks got to get hurt or be terrible.
Yeah, that's.
And then he'll get a chance.
That's what she means, I think.
Yeah. So, but who didn't know that already?
I think we all knew that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why that's a news story.
Because it makes.
I mean, she's the first person to put it in print where she says he's not playing this year.
But he's going to play this year, I assume, because I don't think these guys are going to make it through the season. Joe Flacco, no way he's going to make it more than 4 or 5 weeks. It seems very unlikely.
Barry's reaction has been described as nothing short of meltdown territory. Think of a fantasy football manager finding out their team auto-drafted a kicker in the first round. Think of someone losing their Netflix password the day before a big release. That's the energy. Angry pacing, thrown papers, interns ducking behind desks. Because if the Cowboys land Shadur, the league won't remember Cleveland's patient development strategy. They'll remember that Cleveland had a quarterback with the Sanders name, with charisma, with talent, and they sat him behind veterans whose expiration dates were already visible. Meanwhile, Dallas doesn't even have to try. They thrive on chaos. They don't just chase wins, they chase headlines. And there's no bigger headline than Deion Sanders' son stepping onto the field in a Cowboys uniform.
Boom, it's Jerry Jones. It's exactly what he would want to do. Now, as far as Shadur Sanders being future quarterback or, future wide, all that stuff, bringing him in, of course you want to see it. But I mean, you just signed Dak Prescott to how much money? We got hurt.
$60 million a year.
I know.
This isn't just football. It's marketing. It's spectacle. It's jersey sales flying off shelves before Shadur even throws a pass. Jerry Jones has always treated his team like part football franchise, part Hollywood production studio. For him, Shadur Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's primetime gold. And that's what makes the contrast so brutal for Cleveland. The Browns bury him in meaningless snaps, but the Cowboys would spotlight him in commercials, billboards, and primetime kickoffs. If Dallas makes the move, Cleveland becomes the franchise that sold a Picasso for $5 at a garage sale, only to see it framed in the Cowboys stadium the following week.
But like I said, man, I'm telling you, bro, you should do it at number 12. It Shadur sitting at number 12 and the Dallas Cowboys on the clock. He coming to Jerry World, bro.
That's the nightmare scenario for Andrew Berry. Not just losing a player, but being mocked for failing to see what was right in front of him. The truth is, Shadur is standing at a crossroads. He's been patient, he's been humble, he's been loyal. He hasn't made noise, hasn't demanded more, hasn't thrown sideline tantrums. But patience in the NFL can be a double-edged sword. Wait too long and you're forgotten. Get buried too deep and you never climb back out. Fans are beginning to say it out loud. Shadur needs to take control of his own story. If the Browns won't unleash him, then maybe he needs to force the issue. Because history tells us that Cleveland isn't going to suddenly change its stripes. This is the franchise that has turned quarterback mismanagement into an art form. They've drafted them, hyped them, benched them, and broken them. The list is long, the cautionary tales endless. And if Shadur isn't careful, he could be the next chapter.
Deion is going to be the third father to son to get drafted in the first round.
I mean, that's a no-brainer, man. Come on, to say is Shadur not going to be a first-round talent and a first-round pick? I think he's going to be top 5. He might be number 1 overall taken player in the 2025 draft. That's a bold statement. Go on Clips, go on to mark it up, however you want to say it. D-Jack said it here live on 2510. He might be the first player taken in the 2025 draft. But that's a no-brainer, man. Yeah, he's
So, whoa. See, now I think Shadur is the best quarterback in college football. Hands down.
So that's the number 1 pick, yeah.
But
Travis Hunter.
He should not be the first pick overall.
Who? Shadur?
Yes.
I mean, do you know who might be?
Don't matter.
Might be the right.
Meanwhile, Dallas is dangling the opposite reality. They're dramatic, they're messy, but they're also opportunists. If the Cowboys swoop in, Sanders goes from a forgotten rookie in Cleveland to the centerpiece of America's team in one move. Imagine the optics. Deion Sanders, one of the greatest to ever wear a Cowboys uniform, now watching his son step into that same spotlight. The story practically writes itself, and Jerry Jones knows it. Andrew Berry knows it too. That's why the panic is setting in. Because once the Cowboys' interest becomes real, Cleveland has no leverage, no defense, no explanation. Fans won't buy excuses about development anymore. They'll remember how the Browns wasted him, how they treated him like a science experiment instead of a quarterback.
What's going to happen to the Cowboys? I think the Cowboys are going to be a middle-of-the-road team this year. I think it's going to be done on purpose. They're going to fire their coach. They're going to let Dak go. They're going to then draft Shadur Sanders and hire Deion Sanders as their head coach.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
That's a good take right there.
That is hot. Piping hot.
You think that happens?
No, don't.
I can see it though.
And if Shadur finally chooses himself, if he decides his career matters more than Cleveland's ego, the Browns will have no one to blame but themselves. That's why this rumor hits harder than most. It doesn't just hint at a trade. It exposes Cleveland's entire approach, their entire culture, their entire history of fumbling the bag. Shadur Sanders doesn't even have to throw a touchdown for this story to burn the Browns. All he has to do is exist while Dallas whispers his name, and the chaos does the rest. Think about it.
Sanders is there for some reason. Would you take him?
You're going to need something for the future. And if you get a chance, absolutely, I'm taking him. I'm going to take Shadur Sanders if he's there, and with Shadur and then Dak and
Genty. You would take Shadur over Genty.
I got personal things I'm trying to make go down here. You know, are you serious?
I got you. I got you.
Right.
Well, you know Shadur better than the average person.
And I love Shadur. And all that noise that people are talking about, and they're talking about, oh, he's this or he's that. I'm like, shut up. He's exactly what you need.
The Cowboys get drama, ratings, and a quarterback with a legacy name. The Browns get left holding a pile of excuses and the reputation of being the team that never learns. It's poetic, it's tragic, and it might just be inevitable. Because in the NFL, narratives matter almost as much as wins. And right now, the narrative is clear. Cleveland buried a star, while Dallas waits to turn him into a phenomenon. The Browns drafted Shadur Sanders with all the hype, all the promise, all the headlines. And then they locked him away, like a rare comic book nobody was allowed to read. If he finally breaks free, if he finally chooses himself, the fallout won't just sting. It'll cement the Browns as the league's most tragic soap opera, fumbling away another quarterback before the play even began. And the Cowboys? They'll just smile, cash the checks, and watch as the Sanders name lights up primetime once again.